Mary Cappiello, Francis Kwok, and Leslie Ruggiero. I didn't miss anyone, did I?
No, Frank will be a voting member, correct?
Frank will be a voting member, correct?
Okay.
All right, so the first thing is, do I have anyone that could review the minutes of the 3/11 meeting?
I move that we approve the minutes from our last meeting, which was March 11th, 2021.
Is there, you notice any changes, Mary, or need to be made or
Everything
not?
looked good.
Okay, go ahead, Francis. Frank,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, Fran.
Okay, getting busy. It's that time of year. Everything's picking up. Received a couple complaints. One for 107 Stony Hill Road. Property owners using it as a contractor's yard. Is all equipment in the backyard, backhoe, bobcats. Doing a lot of landscaping work there. No permits, but everything's being stored there. I have pictures in the file. I hope to share them at the next meeting. So I sent him a notice of violation. I received the complaints yesterday. So I gave him till 10 days, April 5th, to comply with the order. I'm sure I'll be hearing back from him, and he'll probably be coming before the commission. Received the second one for 89 Wisconsin Road. Another complaint came into the land use office. Same thing, individuals using this property as a contractor's yard. It's got landscaping equipment up there, backhoes, machinery. Same as the other one, basically. I did notify DOT, Connecticut DOT, because he's encroached on their property too. So they were going to have somebody go out there, but in turn, I still sent out my notice of violation, giving him till April 5th, 2021 to comply. So moving off to my cease and desist list, 537 Federal Road, that was JJ Stacks. Inspected that on 3/15. The camper has been removed. Individual is no longer living there. So I'm going to remove that from the enforcement report because he is no longer there. Where he moved to, I have no idea. 16 Old New Milford Road, I got the cease and desist out on that as per the commission's request at the last meeting. He has 10 days upon receipt of notice to respond. I got that actually out today. That's how busy we've been in there. So that, and along with number 8 Candlewood Birches, again, that was the illegal sheds. I finally got that out today too. He has 10 days to respond upon receipt of notice, and that was sent out 3/25. And then 891 Candlewood Lake Road, that's up, or Federal Road is up past before Newberry Inn up there. The individual's been working with the blight panel. He's removed all the commercial equipment. He did ask for a request of extension of time. He's trying to get everything out of there. Again, when he bought the property, his attorney told him that it was a commercial property, which it is a commercial property, but contractors' yards are not allowed there. So blight is working with him, and I'm assuming we can too. He is making, efforts to get the property all cleaned up. So. And that's about it. And I received 2 more complaints today, which aren't on the enforcement report, which will be on there. That's the next meeting. So it's spring's here and everybody's going crazy. So.
All right. No real correspondence review. I'm sure everybody read their packets. We have no continued public hearings. There's no public hearings held tonight. We are onto old business. We have the 83 Federal Road application Z-21-8. I believe they submitted, I think it was yesterday, the plan with the vehicles on it. However, we haven't gotten able to get comments now from the fire marshal and the police chief and everyone else because it was brand new submitted. Is that correct, Fran?
It is. I received it yesterday and it got dispersed out this morning. We have not received response from the fire marshal, the police chief, nor public works yet. So,
is the applicant here?
Yes. Hi.
How you doing? So this is for 83 Federal Road application Z-21-8. It'd be my recommendation that you ask us to postpone this till the next hearing so we can get the comments back now from the police chief and the fire marshal based off of the new ones. This way we can go forward with the application at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so would you like this
Yeah,
board to,
Postpone it until the next one?
okay. All right, so we're gonna postpone that to, our next meeting is when, Mary?
April 8th.
April 8th. So that'll be on for April 8th. That'll get circulated. And Alex, if you want to come back at that time, come back at that time and tell us exactly. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm Alex. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw you smile. I wasn't sure because it comes across as Alex, but maybe it was
Yeah,
somebody
no.
else's computer.
No, it's me.
All right, so we'll see you at our next meeting.
All right, thank you.
7B, 3 Nichols Court, Z-21-15. That's set for the public hearing. 8, that should be all done with ZBA by then. Is that correct, Fran?
That is. So the commission right now just needs to set the public hearing for the April 8th meeting,
We
correct?
said it 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
We did
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, good, okay.
So I
This
just
is
want to make
kind
sure.
of the
that it's all on-
reminder that, it doesn't fall off our radar, but we
Yeah.
did set that public hearing.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Mindful that it had to be after ZBA's April 5th hearing.
It is, yes.
So now
All
we're
right.
April 8th.
So we're on to new business, 8A, 140 Federal Road, Chick-fil-A, application Z-21-23. Is the applicant here?
Yes, hi, this is Devin. Hi,
Both the
everybody.
applicant and the operator are on.
Okay, so who's going to be speaking, Devin?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so
Excuse
can
me,
you,
Devin, can I have your last name for the record?
Yep, my last name is Scanlon.
Thank you.
okay, go ahead. Tell us what you'd like to do.
Absolutely. So there is the need for a drive-through shelter for my team. We're seeing 200 cars per hour, safety, heat, air. And so there's a shelter there now. And just to be quite honest with you, that permit was supposed to be executed in a larger scope project, and that structure was put in prematurely. And so the structure is there. Just to be honest with you, it is a part of a plan that is a larger plan. So we are now applying for that permit on the back end.
Okay, and the shelters we were given the maps, and those are the shelters that are depicted on the map. There's two of them.
Yes, one.
correct?
No, there's one.
There's one.
Yes.
Okay, I see that area of detail. All right, so well, first off, congratulations on obviously 200 cars an hour. That's phenomenal.
Thank you, Eric. It's been a whirlwind, and just trying to run this business so I don't interrupt Federal Road any further. And Fran knows that. And just trying to
Keyword,
push.
any further, but hey, congratulations on the business.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
great. All right, so does any of the members have questions? Fran, I know you went down and spoke, saw it and everything else. You said everything meets our regulations.
Yeah, meet setbacks and everything else. And FYI, Chick-fil-A is going to be coming back in again, because from what I understand, they're going to be doing a canopy over the message boards or the reader boards right there too. So they're going to be going to ZBA first, but everything meets setbacks on this one
But
particular.
Devin, that's not up yet, right?
No, this is that's a very large project that we will need to be very involved with you all to what you will allow. So no, absolutely not. No.
Because I know you guys put in the sidewalk first and then came to us and then this. So, but we
Yes.
understand completely.
So, and the tent is my responsibility as the local owner operator. So we are learning the process with the corporation. And so we are very vocal about our town needing prior notice and things like that. So I just want to make sure you know that I have the respect for our community and want to do things right. So I do apologize.
Thank you for that acknowledgement. Go ahead, Mary.
I just have the tiniest question. Why does all our paperwork say 140 Federal Road, but everything related to Chick-fil-A says 156 Federal Road?
So that's a great question for the post office and the tax records.
Yeah, the GIS says 140, and I went online
Right.
just to double check your address. I'm like, no, that says 156. Your
Right.
paperwork said 156.
Yeah, they've never matched. So
Just wondered if they're supposed to match.
Okay, so you're not adding anything to what's already pre-existing.
No, we're not adding anything.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve. La, 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 la. And if I had all my paperwork in order, that would be lovely. Z-21-23 at 140 or 156 Federal Road, Chick-fil-A, site plan modification to install a prefab steel framed employee shelter at the existing drive-through.
Hang on one second, Mary. Steve, did you have something to say?
Sorry, no, I apologize. That was for
Okay.
something else. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Leslie seconds. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Congratulations, Devin. Motion's
Thank
passed.
you, everybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Fran. You're awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night.
Too.
All right,
You
Steve.
too.
Go ahead.
Thanks.
Did you have something to say, Steve, that you wanted to say?
No, I was just thanking you as well.
Oh,
as the
okay. I
applicant.
just
Thank you.
saw your hand raised. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I didn't miss you.
No, that was for something else. Sorry.
Okay.
Thanks again. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye,
Have a good
Steve.
night.
Thanks.
Bye. Thanks.
All right, we're on to 128 Federal Road, application Z-21-26, design review special permit for proposed retail commercial building, 480-73 square foot with drive-through access. We can schedule that public hearing for April 22nd, 2021. Do I have a motion?
Yep, I move that we set the public hearing date for Z-21-26, 128 Federal Road for a design review special permit for proposed retail commercial building, 4,873 square feet with drive-through access and parking for April 22nd, 2021.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we're on to the informal discussion. 857-857A Federal Road by AR Builders. Is anyone here from AR Builders on 857 Federal Road?
Yeah, so there's a few of us here. My name's Jeff Campbell. I'm the architect for the project. I know Jason just joined, Emily, and we have John Schmitz, who is civil engineering as well.
Okay,
So-
Hello.
what would you like to discuss with us?
I'll start off. So hi, I'm Jason Kambitsis from AR Building Company. I know we've spoken in the past. We actually brought a project to you guys, and we've spoken independently across the street, the project, the Enclave. Now that project has kind of stalled from our perspective, and we actually are contracted for the project right across the street, the 100-unit project. What we want to talk about tonight is we're looking to revise the site plan to do our buildings on the site. And we kind of wanted to get your perspective on that and kind of get an understanding of, what you guys would like to see and wouldn't like to see. So with that, I'll just kind of turn it over to Jeff Campbell to kind of speak about as he has the presentation.
Yeah, I can do it. Is it possible to share my screen?
Sure, I'll make you a co-host. Just 1 second.
Right.
Should be all set.
Okay. All right. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
Yep,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, so I'll go through this pretty quickly, but we can always go back if needed. So as Jason was mentioning, AR Building Company right now in the Northeast has a number of projects that you see throughout Rhode Island and Connecticut. Also have some projects under agreement in Massachusetts. Their headquarters their Northeast construction headquarters are based in Westerly, so they do have a crew out there that's actually building these projects. They're there all the time. Here's just some images of some of the work that we have done. This is all Rhode Island. It kind of gives you a sense of the construction level that they do. So in the upper left hand, we have Club at Dowling Village in North Smithfield. That's 88 units. Was completed last year. The interiors you can see on the bottom. Every unit has a deck throughout their portfolio. So that's a nice amenity that they've encouraged as well. then some other ones here in North Kingstown. In the lower left is Reynolds Farm. And then a couple projects in New London, Connecticut, both Parcel J and then 60 Mansfield Road in the lower right-hand corner. In particular, I want to draw your attention to Reynolds Farm on the left, because I think this is the type of building that we'd be looking at proposing here. Because AR not only develops these, but they own them. They own them for, I think I've been working for about 17 years now, and I don't think they've sold a project that I've worked on with them yet. So, they do own all these. So they do like to look at a lot of maintenance, a lot of materials that are low maintenance. So, a lot of brick, tend to use some vinyl, so it has a nice crisp look moving forward. A few other things that they do like to feature are, we tend to have large windows, get a lot of light in there. All their units have elevators. They're all fully sprinklered. I mentioned the porches. Each unit has an interior laundry as well. So they really end up getting a nice cross section, nice demographic. So 857 Federal Road is the parcel here on the right. So I think this is the Riverview at the condominiums, Riverview at Brookfield Condominiums, just to the north of us. So you can see we're just off to the ravine here. There's the ravine off to the right here, and then Federal Road is cutting along there. This is I believe the currently approved plan. Excuse me. So I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. So just so you're aware, the current approved plan has 2 3-story buildings along Federal Road. One is perpendicular to the street, the other is parallel. It has 3 full stories of units, 24 units here. There's 2 stories above, about 6,500 square feet of retail on this building. And then there's 2 buildings to the right that are both 32 units, 4 stories tall. What we're proposing is something that's, we tried to keep the spirit of what's been approved in a lot of ways, only bringing the AR architecture to that and the higher level that they've been doing. So here you can see what we would be proposing. So this would be a building that would completely front, the building A on the left would completely front along Federal Road. It would be 3 stories high. And again, all the amenities that I mentioned in their other projects. We intentionally use that building to screen the parking behind it, just to kind of give Federal Road a better frontage. And then the remainder of the units would be in a 4-story building off to the right, which would be a 67-unit building. Both of those are surrounding a nice central courtyard. That courtyard would feature a fitness center, have a swimming pool. There'd be a management office that would be contained in that as well. Really is a way of both activating the space and then giving a nice center and a heart to that community. The architecture itself, this is a sense of what the building would look like along Federal Road. Maybe not exactly what it is, but this is a conceptual elevation. Again, gives you the sense of those materials, the amount of windows that they have, the porches. They do tend to have really nice articulated facades, so it's nothing flat and it really has a nice feel to it. And that's the end of our presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions about this. I don't know, John Schmitz is here from BL Engineering, who is the civil engineer, so we can answer, we have thought about this from those perspectives, and then from an ownership perspective, Jason, of course, can answer any questions as well.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I would add that, we had talked about the other project previously, and one of the conversations was around height and getting to the right height. And so, the roof lines and all that kind of stuff. And, this building would be designed in accordance with that and, kind of follow that. Now, when we did the other one, we talked about removing the commercial. This one had commercial on it. We're talking about removing that commercial and just making it purely residential. And so we just wanted to have that discussion as well.
Okay, so I guess, have you looked at our zoning regulations for that zone?
Yeah, we have. Yes.
Okay, so our zoning regulations requires commercial on that front because it's on Federal Road.
Yes.
So basically, we can't, underneath our regulations, we couldn't even approve this. This would be a ZBA thing that you'd want to go to Zoning Board of Approvals to say, listen, Brookfield Zoning Commission, Brookfield zoning regulations has that you're supposed to have commercial on the first floor, and we want to get rid of that, and you have to show whatever your hardship is. Because for us, we are just kind of more, look at us as enforcers. We enforce our zoning commission regs, and our commission regs for that has commercial on the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if you're asking us, can you do this? And I can answer you underneath our regs, you can't. Or are you asking us that you want to propose a zone change?
Well, we want to ask that we could either propose a zone change or propose that we eliminate the commercial on the first floor.
Well, you'd have to propose a zone change though, because right now that zone has, it's supposed to have commercial on the first floor. So
Got
it's not, so if you want to go ahead and get rid of it without proposing a zone change, that's a ZBA, a zoning board appeals, because you're appealing what we have in our zoning commission. If you're looking for a zone change, then I would suggest that you propose a zone change to this commission that they can look at. Because right now you're asking, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. What do you think about this? And I'm going to tell you from a zoning commission board, there's nothing we can do. You know, even if we love it, we can't do anything because our zoning regs say that you have to have commercial on the first floor.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, you know, realistically, we're talking about and I understand that we're talking about the configuration and all that kind of stuff, the layout. Before there was 4 buildings, now there's 2. The design's a little different. We don't change the unit count. We keep the 3 stories on the front, the 4 in the back. Everything follows that, except we've, you know, updated the design and eliminated the commercial. So I hear you. We just kind of wanted to get some feedback as we move forward.
I can tell you from past, I don't know if you've sat in our past meetings when people have had the same questions on especially buildings that are fronting these roads. So when there's buildings fronting these roads, we had almost every single person on the zoning commission say, no, we want commercial on the first floor because that's what we envisioned. Now, the arguments and where you're starting to get a little difference and where the zoning commissioners start to go is when you get to the back row and some say, all right, you know, maybe we'll have you try it out. And then we can put something in there where, you know, if you don't sell them within a certain time of period or rent them, then you can switch them over. But, and any of the commissioners can correct me if I'm wrong, but so far, I think everybody is saying if it fronts Federal Road or any of those roads that we already had in our zoning commission, we wanted commercial space. And
Okay.
that's for your thoughts. If you decide to come to us with a zone change, a proposed zone change, because that's now when we're going to start talking about, okay, this is a proposed zone change. How is this going to affect the rest of the zone that we have? Because obviously we're zoning. We can't spot zone just your lot. We'd have to change the entire thing. And I just don't want you to spin your wheels. I think you guys have a great product. I think you build nice houses, but this zoning commission is limited to our zoning regs.
Got it. Okay.
It sounds like it might be a good argument to make because you have something already proposed to ZBA, who can go around our zoning regulations. We can't, unfortunately, or fortunately.
Yeah, well, I understand that. Okay.
Can I jump in for just a second? So I just had a couple of questions. I think in the current approved plan, there is, you know, the building that's parallel does have that retail on the whole first floor. The building that's perpendicular does not have any retail on that first floor. And I'm curious as to whether or not that was something that was, I don't think we're aware of any variance or anything, or was that part of some other approval?
Fran, do you remember why that front one didn't have retail?
I think you're on mute, Fran.
That was part of a lawsuit that
That's
was
what I
brought amongst the zoning commission with the property owner at the time.
So that was a settlement.
It was a settlement agreement. Yes, there was a settlement agreement on that. That's why the other building didn't have it.
So, you know, that might be a great argument. And before ZBA.
Yeah.
But for us, you know, we looked at this, that was a settlement. that happened with the town attorney and whoever the builder was. So that was able to go against our regs. You know, now as a zoning commission, we just can't take and say, all right, now let's take this and modify it at all, because that's now it's kind of a ZBA. We have to still stick to our regs.
Mhm.
If I can just read into the record, I believe this was 5/22/13. It was from Mike Lillis, PE from CCA. He advised that the plans were revised with the terms of the settlement based upon the feedback of the commissioners. He indicated that the applicant had agreed to a commercial use on the first floor of building for additionally building facing facade on Federal Road. You know, so I have the minutes and stuff. So
Got it.
But that sounds like, Fran, they would have to go back into settlement and try to renegotiate that settlement they already negotiated.
yeah, it's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, you know, Tony, I would think that if we have a settlement between the town of Brookfield and the prior builder, that you can't just come back to zoning as a commission. That my thoughts, you know, legally, that they would have to go back into settlement to reopen the settlement if the town wants to.
I'm hesitant to answer because I don't think there's any reopening it. A settlement means it's settled, so you'd have to there'd be a new action. If there was
Yeah, but I mean, if both parties agree to open.
yeah,
up
oh
the-
yeah, they could negotiate. Yeah, they could change it. But yeah, yeah.
But it wouldn't be by, you know, I don't think it would be via by this. I think we'd have to go through the town attorney to see if it opening up, and then to bring it back to this commission or get the commission's input on changing the original settlement.
Right, that sounds most appropriate with this particular situation.
So then
And-
that's the other thing that I might tell the proposed applicant is that maybe, you know, reach out to the town attorney or to whoever was the original person that settled and say, hey, listen, you know, we have a settlement on the record, and we think that this might be more palatable to you. Can we renegotiate the settlement? And if the town agrees, then maybe we could be sitting here again that way too. I'm just thinking of other opportunities or approaches you guys can take.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, we'll look at all those avenues and try to figure that out. So.
And then if I could ask one last question. So if we do determine to go through a ZBA route, or whatever route we end up coming to, and then come back with this plan,
Mhm.
you know, are there any comments that, or anything that we need to be thinking about? Because it'd be a shame to come back and then, you know, find out we missed a comment that we wanted to include.
I'd like to address that quickly, just that I think you are all very smart and you paid attention to what we were interested in. And the first time you made this proposal across the street, condensing it, making it more open, the beautiful design of them, and working with us on the height. I feel like you have paid attention to what we're interested in. So if you're asking us aesthetically, what do we think? I think most of the commission will agree that we think it's beautiful, we love it, but we're telling you, unfortunately, we have this issue with our regulations that we have to enforce. So yeah, that I think that you can get other commissioners to weigh in on it, but I think that you have impressed us with the quality that you present.
And I'll have to agree with Tony on this one, is that, you know, what you're showing us and how you're building things and with your thing, this is what we want in Brookfield, this type of building and this type of aesthetics. But, you know, again, we have to follow our regs. So I agree with Tony. Any other commissioners want to weigh in?
No.
I agree with you guys. It's unfortunate because we really would like to see this specific property developed, I think. Is this one, Fran, is this one on the blight list?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Is it Barnbeck? I had to
Yeah.
look it up on the street. view.
Barnyard.
Barnyard, sorry.
Barnyard.
Did not mean to misspeak.
No.
Yeah, I mean, we would love to see this property specifically developed, right? But I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be a no if there's no commercial, because that's the whole point of this area, is that we want to have a downtown area. So
Right.
I agree with what Tony and Eric said. We love what you guys are doing and would love to, you know, we were happy with the other plan. We would love to see that in town, but the commercial is gonna be a sticking point, I think.
So I guess when it comes to this, if we I'm sorry, can I talk now? I'm sorry if I cut anybody off. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go.
National.
Okay,
Go.
sorry. Because I'm just trying to, react to that. I mean, if we had a scheme like this, but it had the commercial in it, there was like 6,500 square feet, would that not cut it, or would it have to be something, if we met the 6,500 square feet of commercial?
And it's a great question. And at that point, because it's based on a settlement, I would have to use it, for lack of a better word, punt this to our town attorney to make sure that, we can do a variation of what was already settled.
Yeah.
Just because it's a little new. I don't know the exact answer to you. So that's why I would have to go to the town attorney and say, hey, listen, what is our ability with underneath the current settlement to work with this builder? Or do we have to do what I just said earlier if we're making
Yes.
even a change to a building or a room or anything?
Yeah.
What I imagine is that if you decide as an applicant to forego what's been agreed to and you meet our regulations, instead with your new plan, that there's no issue with forgetting about the old one, basically. That's what I imagine would happen, Eric, but.
Oh,
we'd have
yeah,
to-
absolutely. But I think that they're looking at doing less than our regulations
Oh,
somewhere maybe in
then that's,
between.
yeah.
If
Then
I heard the applicant correct, or the
Yeah.
proposed applicant, is that true?
Well, no, I mean, if we met, the other one has a certain amount of square footage of commercial in it. Okay. And all we're saying is if we did that same amount of commercial
Oh.
square footage,
Well,
but reconfigured
see,
it.
And what I'm saying is that was a settlement that
Yeah.
doesn't follow our regulations.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
was
sure.
allowed underneath the settlement. So that's why I think we would have to go to our
I
town
agree with you,
attorney.
yeah.
What Tony was saying is if you went to our regs now and forego the settlement and just wanted to build it out the regs, then you would have no issue. But I think you want to go somewhere in between that. That's what I think. And from hearing you, I think that's what you're saying.
Well, we can look at the regs and how they exist now and then see what
Okay.
makes sense.
And
Sure.
remember, you don't have to go to ZBA for everything, sometimes, and we've had other builders come through here going, hey, listen, if our regs get you 90% of the way, maybe ZBA gets you the other 10. And, you can probably, and I'm not going to tell you how or to present your application, but, you might just have a hardship considering you already have an agreement, a settlement agreement. So, maybe under our regs, it gets you 90% of the way or some sort of percentage. And, ZBA might be the way to go there. I'm not saying it is or not, but I'm just giving you other avenues of approach because like some of my other commissioners said, is that, we like to see you come here and build out these types of property that is aesthetically pleasing to the town.
Got it. Okay. Well, a lot to think about. We'll go from there and kind of see what we need to do.
And again, we as a commission, we thank you gentlemen and women for coming before
Yeah.
us and really trying to work with us and asking those questions, because at the end of the day, we hope this helps you as well and, saves you some money and you can figure out what's the best to do.
Yep. Very good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, we appreciate the time tonight. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right, so we're on to 105 Graysbridge Road. Is there a Ramon Soto?
Yep, yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. So I'm the owner here at New Age Coaching Center, and the reason that I'm reaching out, I reached out to Fran about the situation, and the situation that I'm having is essentially that we've grown our facility right now. Right now, we're on 4,800 square feet, and we deal with a lot of vehicles now. The issue that we're having is, of course, we need a bigger facility. The opportunity now has come to buy a facility at a young age that I have, and it's beneficial for me to move forward. The other problem that I have here too is my lease is coming up. We got about a year and a half, give or take. I have to look forward into that, but we're not sure if we should stay, which is great because Brookfield has helped us out tremendously. A lot of support here. So that's one reason I don't want to leave. Two of my kids go to school here as well. And it just, the atmosphere is very positive here. So I would like to expand, but I don't know what the requirements 100% are at 105 Graysbridge. Now, I do understand that, there's requirements behind it. But that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, well, first, Ramon, like I just told what's the chicken place?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. That's great to see people in Brookfield being able to expand their business and everything else. So again, congratulations to you, and that's awesome that you love the town and you're raising your family here. So obviously, we want to make sure that we guide you in the right direction, which you can do. I believe that this area is in our aquifer, right? 105 Grays Bridge.
Yes. It is.
Right.
It was very similar to where I'm at. I mean, don't get me wrong, right on Federal Road, I guess I'm in the middle, somewhat of in the middle of the aquifer behind us and in front of us. I did do a little bit of research to see exactly where we fell into the automotive, industry around the Still River, which there's, at least that I've found so far, there's 5 other companies are right on the river pretty much, which you're talking, on my end, you have AJ Trucking, you have Lang's Auto, you have Bruce Taylor, even the town garage in a sense. So looks to be, if it would be possible, I guess, on my end, it would be possible, but of course there's requirements, and I like to do everything by the book. So, your suggestion would help. And if we can make something work, if it works, I would like to move forward. Now, I would like to say one other thing though. What I do for a living is there's a big stigma behind the automotive field as far as oil, contamination, coolant, that sort of stuff. If anyone has done any homework behind at least the new age company of what we deal with a lot of high-end clientele and a lot of high-end vehicles from, you're talking, 40, 50, sometimes all the way up to $250,000 vehicles. So we don't like, myself, I don't like dealing with oils. I'm a metal guy, and my craftsmanship at least shows at a young age to make something work. We would like to expand that because I also have other vendors that would like to, or I wouldn't even say vendors, colleagues like Speed Sport, for instance, out of Danbury. We deal a lot with them. The Shops ET out of Stratford, a big shop. If you look to see how they are, they manage their business to the cleanliness as it gets. Even also too, I don't know if you guys by any chance know Danny Aspinall from D-Dents. He deals with high-end vehicles too. He deals with Porsche out of Danbury, Volkswagen. So we cater to a higher degree of craftsmanship, but at the same time, I've hit the glass ceiling, and I can't go any further. And I don't see myself. I would like to go further in Brookfield and stay here. I'll be honest with you. I just need the help. That's all. And I don't know if we can make this work. I mean, how do you feel about the aquifer situation?
So first off, I imagine you already checked to make sure that your business is allowed. Fran, did you check it to make sure that is part of that? It's good?
It is, yeah, it's good.
Okay.
He's in the aquifer, obviously.
So I'm going to tell you what this commission has told almost everybody else in the past. It's definitely doable, that's for sure. But because it's in the aquifer, there's just that extra protection to the aquifer, such as all the drains need to be sealed. Vehicles that are being parked there have to have some sort of containment, because I get it that you have, high-end vehicles, even though they're pretty and all this, they still, like if you cut anyone else, we all bleed the same. So it's the same oils. So it's really just it's just about the containments of anything that should happen, which it's definitely doable. We've had other companies in that aquifer that wanted to come. And Fran, I correct me if I'm wrong from the history of this. I think most of the ones that ended up not staying were really more about fire suppression and water than it was about our saying, hey, listen, this is all we want is these the oil traps and everything else for it. Because now I've looked online for when we did it last time, and I can see there's all types of things out there now to put around or temporary for vehicles. So I think as a commission that we've represented in the past, the other ones that want to do it, is we're just looking for to protect the aquifer by, in case of those leaks, by just trapping and all that. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think wherever you go, it's going to be the building you look at for whatever fire needs for fire suppression. That's been really the problem, right, Fran?
Yes, it has been. Yep.
No, and I fully understand the hazardous aspect of it. I understand that. I don't mind spending the money that it takes to make it work. I guess my biggest thing right now is to just realistically talk to the owners and try to figure something out, because the facility is not for sale, let alone. This was just a conversation that started, and the gentleman said, "Hey, listen, my wife might be interested in selling. Let's speak to you for a little bit on a Saturday." This is exactly how this happened. And she said, "You know what? We rather support a local business and help you grow than, put it up for sale, lose our, percentage in real estate or whatever the case may end up being, on that sense." But I get what this is going. It's just more homework and more figuring this thing out to make something work if it ends up happening on my end financially.
Yeah. And I think the one question that you asked, I can pretty much answer for almost the entire commission. Are we afraid of your company or don't want something like that because you said it got a bad name? Not at all. Not at all. It wouldn't matter if you were working on Mercedes Beamers or Lamborghinis or the lower cars. Not at all. These shops and these buildings are what make up our town. We want our town have every type of shop. So we're here to work with you underneath our regs. So the only thing I want to tell you is we've had no issue, I think, with any other person that's come through for storage of golf carts, any of this other stuff. It's always been the age of the building we found, because I always go back and go, hey, why didn't this go through? It's always been usually the age of the building and the fire suppression, never about the oil containment systems and everything else. So I just wanted to help you out with the information I've seen. I've been on this commission now for, I think, 8 years.
Yep. Okay.
Fran, I'm ready to retire, right? Is there any other comments from any other commissioners? Do you have any other questions? Because we definitely want to be able to answer them. You feel comfortable to continue. What I want to do is I want to make sure you feel comfortable to continue looking at staying in Brookfield.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at other facilities that come up for sale, or even down to the leasing aspect of it. I mean, for instance, you have Max BMW that just stepped out of Brookfield, now went into New Milford. But there was big contamination in that facility. So that wouldn't work out for me, let alone the price. So I've also come to the point where, we went as far as coming down to a full agreement with the seller, and then the seller has, cold feet. That's happened multiple times. So seeing that this opportunity that actually came to me instead of me going after it might be worth it, God willing. And no, I mean, if I need anything else, I'll keep in touch. And Fran, I appreciate you for getting me on here and giving the time to figure this thing out.
And we really do hope that you stay in town, both with your business and residential.
Wonderful. I appreciate it. That means a lot, guys. Yep. Thank you. All right, so this is it. I hope enjoy the rest.
I hope we see you soon.
Right?
Hope to see you soon again. Yeah.
If you need something collision related, give me a call. We're more than welcome to help you. Right?
Honestly, you seem like a great guy, but I hope I don't have to visit you, because that means I collided something.
It gets expensive, so I understand. Yeah. I get it. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, Fran, I know you always have something extra.
No, I'm good, actually. No.
What?
I know. It's picking up. I tell you, it's been nonstop. It's been nonstop.
Leslie. I think Leslie's got something tonight.
I have nothing. I didn't take any field trips this week.
What's funny too is I ended up telling my mom that you went down there, and she goes, I drove down there too, and I agree with you guys. I think that makes it look nice.
Oh, Mom.
There you go.
The next meeting's on April 8th, and that's my mother's birthday. So I don't think I'm going to be able to make the next meeting. We got to do something for her on her birthday.
All of us, or just you?
Well, if you guys you're more than welcome. I mean, hey. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing something for her that day.
Okay.
All right. And actually, I do have I have reached out to the parties to try to get more people, alternates, to join. So I am working on that, and with ZBA too. It's just hard to try to get people to come on board at this time. I don't know why. Maybe people are scared, but I do know the town may be looking at reopening for live meetings beginning of May,
right.
May 1st.
Wow.
But Fran said it would be a hybrid, so you can either go to the meeting or you can go via Zoom.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Whoever feels comfortable coming in, it's more than
You
welcome.
bet.
You know, but
Has everyone been vaccinated? I just asked this last night at our library meeting too.
I
Not
got
yet.
April 10th.
I have been. I have
Okay,
both.
I've got one.
Yeah, Tuesday's my
Early
first.
April.
I got April 10th, one and done.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I ended up calling today, and they just so happened to be open for Johnson and Johnson. I got to
Nice.
drive for it, but
Yeah, you gotta
to
go
me,
to,
it made.
are you going
made
to Stop
sense.
and Shop?
No, I'm going to Wallingford Oakfield Theater.
Wow, okay,
Wow.
nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
but
husband,
the
my
mall-
husband is a pharmacist, and Danbury Stop and Shop is not doing them yet, but they will be soon.
You know, and that's funny because when I heard it come out on the patch, I've been sitting there going into Danbury Stop and Shop every day, and it doesn't tell me
Yeah.
that. It just says no appointments available.
Right.
Yep,
Yep.
All right. Well,
yep,
that makes sense now.
yep. I think Waterbury's the closest Stop and Shop.
Oh, really? Not even the one in Southbury?
Nope. They only pick like 13 stores, I think. It was the state. The company didn't really have it to say, I don't think.
And when you went on the Stop and Shop, you had to put in an area code. And it was only 5 miles from that area code. So, yeah, that's interesting. All right. Well, that makes more sense now.
Yep.
yeah. We can talk about outdoor dining. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything to talk about, but
We still haven't known if he's going to extend or if we have to do an ordinance.
you know,
Mm,
So, I mean, I would like to think that he's going to extend.
I would hope.
I would hope too, but you know,
I would hope.
hopefully he does it by the 8th, because when does it expire? The 11th?
Yeah, I think it is.
Sounds
It's the
right.
10th or 11th.
I think it's the 11th.
I think it's 11th too. For some reason, 11th is sticking in my head. So which means we have one meeting, but then if not, then we have to scramble.
Yeah. But I think the legislature is getting involved now because there's a lot of pushback about executive orders and they're trying to push
Yeah.
a bill now. So something will happen. I'm pretty sure it'll go.
I think something will
Yeah.
happen too. So I don't think that we need to try to spin our wheels for nothing.
Mhm.
I think we'll wait because I think I have enough faith that one or something's going to happen. They're going to let it go into like haywire where everything goes crazy.
Yeah.
What about the tents? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of that, but live music too. We may have 2 applications next week or next meeting for
Actually, that's a good point, Frank.
the two. There are going to be two places that want to do live music. One is going to be JJ Stacks, which I think we discussed at the last meeting briefly, and then now Twins Barbecue over on 133. He's got that little beer trailer out there where he's going to want to do live music too, I guess on the weekends and stuff. So it's going to be bands, live bands and stuff. And so I know we did it for the barbecue chicken lady up there one time. I can't recall the exact name of it, but
Well, we also did it for the Vineyard.
for where?
The Vineyard.
The Vineyard, yeah. But
Right.
the Vineyard couldn't do it because his license
So
didn't
the-
allow for it, his placard. Yeah.
Right.
Didn't
So
know.
me and Fran were talking about, just so everyone else knows, and trying to follow what we've done as much in the past. So we're talking like strictly, obviously, outdoor music. So first off, their liquor permit has to allow that type of entertainment, because if they don't, then it doesn't really matter. If it does, what I was talking with Fran about, and what we did when we, with the Grazios, just in case they did have it on there, is we made it as a temporary event application, which the temporary event could last a season. So, and I liked it because what'll happen is, like, let's just say the barbecue place, we say, okay, you can do Saturdays and Sundays and Thursday nights to this time period, and you're only good through 3 months. Well, if for some reason it doesn't work out, then it's only for 3 months. We didn't change any regulations. We didn't do anything. We didn't give it permanently, and we could dial it back a little bit. And I think on the original barbecue, when it was the chicken, we did the same thing. We said it has to be during this time period, during this. And we said, how long do you want it from and to? Because we didn't want it to be outstanding, because obviously when the winter hits, you're not going to do it anyways. So we
Right.
didn't want to give them something that just, as long as they're there, they do. They have to come back, you know, every season or year to come back and look at it. I don't know how the rest of the commission feels about it, but I still think that's the best way to handle it. I don't know, maybe think about it if you come up with different ideas of how to handle it.
Well, I'll tell you what's appealing about that is it's almost like a test run to see how many people complain and if it's an issue, and if it's not an issue, then great, and we can just approve it with less concern the year after. So
That was my thought, Tony. And Fran, I mean, you're the one that has to enforce all this. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, JJ Stacks, I may be a little concerned because the condominiums across the street, Oak Meadows right there.
And that's,
But, you know,
we did the first time we said acoustic, right?
yeah, for there. But he says, he's indicated to me that he doesn't plan on doing it at the nighttime. It's going to be like, you know, Saturdays, Sundays during the day. Nothing at night. He wants to promote, you know, his place right there and have a little events, magician shows and stuff, you know, but nothing crazy because, you know, he doesn't have, number one, he doesn't have the lighting. Number two, you know, it's just, I guess his hours of operation don't go that far. I think
Fran, what about twins?
Twins, I think, would be a little more active only because he has that beer truck on there, which he can actually, he can dispense beer to patrons who pay for it. So that may be a little more active, I would think would be the word to say. But there's no residential properties around there. He's right in the middle of a cornfield and, you know, there's no one there. So.
No, but given the way that sound carries, I mean, even though it's not a stone's throw away, Barnbeck is not
True.
that far away.
True. I mean, I
What about
would
the church and the church across the street?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. I mean, probably, you know, set a decibel level. I mean, if he violates the decibel level for noise, and you know, then
But Fran, we have that. We have the ordinance for the decibel level, and then we've seen in the past how well that's worked, because how do you actually measure the decibels from where? It becomes really hard to enforce, and we've known that. And I think even the police weighed in on it, saying it's very hard for us to enforce the decibel levels.
Well, yeah, I see. I don't. It's in our regulations, but I don't enforce that. It's under the ordinance that the enforcement
Right.
Police department. You know,
And they have to follow it, but then it becomes the measurement of it and enforcing it. And I've seen that in the past, and I think that's why I think what, you know, like what Tony said, this is nice to test out and go, okay, you know what, if we don't have any complaints and everything else, or we do have complaints and they're turning up too much, then, you know, hey, listen, it was short-lived, and when you come back, we're not going to grant you what you think we're going to grant.
yeah, maybe for the first one, do a 1 month trial. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you know. So
Eric, as far as you know, does the police department have a sound meter to measure decibel level?
They
They
do.
Okay.
But then, you know, it's like, I remember the argument is, where do you take it from?
1 foot off the property line, I believe. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but then the person complaining about it happened to been like way far down. So is it supposed to be down that way, or is it supposed to be 1 foot off the property line? And it becomes just really a pain. And the other thing we've seen too is that decibel and that noise level is sometimes not used by the complainant in a proper manner, if you know what I mean. Like I said, it's a neighbor 20 times down that just doesn't happen to like it.
Right.
I can't even hear it, but they can say something even though it doesn't affect them. Or
Right.
somebody right across the road is not the one saying anything. And Fran, I mean, you've been here longer than me. I can recall 3 of them that it was the complaint we had to listen to, even though it did not affect their property at all.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's my concern, you know, Frank. You know, that's why, you know, I guess, you know, do it as you see it. Unfortunately, it's like the old, you know, obscenity thing, right, Tony? I'll know obscene when I see it. It's like, you know what, maybe we just take it out and say what's too excessive.
Okay.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I have nothing else for the commission.
Mary, anything?
Nope.
Leslie?
Okay,
Take us
motion
home.
to adjourn.
Is there a
Second.
second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Good night,
Tell your
everyone.
mom, happy
Good night.
birthday, Tony.
Good
Happy
Everybody.
birthday, Tony.